Hi, everyone, and a very warm welcome to you all. Today, we are presenting the Q2 report for Neola Medical, and we have the presentation deck in Swedish, but we will also speak English today as we have international participants. And for you who want to see the slides in your local language, please do change the language, which you do by pressing the three dots under the presentation. So presenting here today is myself, Hanna Sjöström, CEO of Neola Medical, and I also have with me CFO Christian Gyllenberg. And I will first introduce the company and the market opportunity for our medical device for continuous lung monitoring of preterm-born infants. And then Christian will share the numbers of the quarter. But first, Neola Medical is such an exciting company. We have a large and growing addressable market. The neonatal intensive care respiratory devices market is expected to reach $2.5 billion in 2026. We also have a great clinical need and demand. The clinical benefits of Neola greatly exceeds those of the current monitoring methods. We do also have an attractive business model. We have a razor blade model with one Neola per bed and baby, and disposable probes that are changed daily, giving us recurrent revenues. We also have a proven technology. So Neola has demonstrated positive study results in lung measurements of newborn infants. And we have a highly experienced team with a board of directors and management that have a vast experience in medical technology and commercialization. And we have a huge potential addressable market globally. Neola will be introduced to the global market of respiratory intensive care equipment, which was estimated to be worth $1.5 billion in 2017. And the market is expecting to grow to 2.5 billion in 2026. And only in the US, we have an addressable market of over 22,000 beds that are appropriate for Neola. And it's one Neola is needed for every bed and baby. Today's standard of care is really in need of an upgrade. The current monitoring methods are clearly insufficient. We have only that they give a snapshot of the lung status. They're also slow to show results, and the handling really disturbs and hurts the infant. And it's also potentially harmful for the infant, especially in the cases of routine chest X-ray, which is done many times per day per baby in several cases, and also blood sampling. So Neola Medical's monitoring method is continuous monitoring of the lungs, so constantly, very fast to show results, even below a second, and safe for the infant's vulnerable skin. And also, very importantly, non-invasive. Everything that the neonatologists today at the big hospitals, university hospital in particular, is looking for. So we have a very strong commercial concept for our medical device for lung monitoring with an instant detection of complications. And what we offer is precision care to upgrade current standard of care. That means faster detection of pulmonary complications, preventing more severe complications. We have a decrease in number of days in very expensive intensive neonatal care, but also decreased time for visual observation by the nurses. And this is really what the hospitals are looking for today, as the intensive care is so costly today, but also very slow to detect results, leading to a lot of unnecessary severe complications. And moving on to this last quarter, it's been a quarter where we have taken very big commercial steps. There is an ongoing large investigator sponsored clinical studies on newborn infants in Ireland ongoing. The researchers presented positive results from the first 50 babies at a conference in US in May. And we are also taking all of these important commercial steps under a new company name, Neola Medical, and also a new ticker on the stock exchange, Neola. We have also acquired strategic IP assets in form of an electronics platform. And this was a very important strategic acquisition for us, as it means that we now control all relevant IP for our product. Price and reimbursement is also very important for commercial launch, and that's why we also have initiated projects in terms of reimbursement and price assessment for the US market with grants from Vinnova. And finally, after the quarter, we have received a patent for an integral part of Neola, which further strengthens our competition power. So in summary, it's been a good quarter from Neola Medical and large commercial steps moving forward. So now I hand over to Christian for the financial summary.
Thank you so much, Hannah. We are very satisfied with how cost conscious we have been able to be during this phase of development. We have increased costs as the development for Neola entered new stages, but we have been able to keep the burn rate lower than budget. The acquisitions of the IP rights to the electronics platform that Hannah spoke about will give us a much more favorable position going forward, both short-term regarding cost planning, but also long-term regarding procurement of parts going into production. The total purchase price for the rights was 5 million SEK. End of period, the cash balance is 13 million SEK. Regarding the stock, our largest shareholder, Amira AB, has after the reporting period increased their holding in the company by buying all of Abraxas Holdings shares. This has increased their ownership from 13.7 to 18.4%. We are very happy that they increased their ownership as it highlights their belief in Neola Medical, and along with that comes a broad network and strong competence that will be beneficial for the company. That's all from the financial side today, and I give it over to Hannah again.
So we have identified a very clear commercial pathway, and we're now heading towards very exciting milestones such as approvals for our quality management system, clinical validation, and then also market launch of Neola after our CE mark and FDA grant, which are estimated to be finalized in the end of 2023, beginning of 2024. We're also doing this and taking these steps with a very strong team and further supported by a new board of directors with great competence within the industry. So with that, we have, in summary, had a very successful quarter where we have taken large commercial steps forward with user-initiated clinical study in Ireland, great results from the first 50 babies of the 100 babies in the ongoing study. We have acquired very important IP assets that are really laying a very strong foundation in our IP portfolio. And now we're also looking forward to many more commercial steps as we are preparing for market launch in the US. So with that short summary, I open up for questions. And you're most welcome to unmute and ask write questions in the chat. And we can also start with some of the questions that have come in from shareholders.
Yes, I will take the questions in English for our international participants. What key positions do you have left to fill, and when do you expect to fill them?
Well, we have just filled 2 of our key positions in the company. The first one was our clinical manager, neonatologist and PhD in neonatology, Tatiana Kuvyot, who joined the company in the beginning of spring in 2022. And she will, of course, be an integral part of our work with clinical validation, and also very important as she is connecting with key opinion leaders in both Europe and the US. The other very important positions that we have now filled, starting actually this week, is that we now have a regulatory and quality management system director who has joined us from a big Swedish company, CellaVision. So he comes with major experience from a small company growing into a large international company, and we will really benefit from a lot of his experience moving forward. And then the position still to be filled is within the technical development team, where we are still looking for algorithm specialists. A very important position in the team, and also a hard skill set to find in this environment.
And another question, are you still on schedule with the FDA process?
Yes, we have a continuous contact with the FDA. We have got many meetings with the FDA and have an ongoing conversation. We have also received written feedback that is really guiding us towards the clinical studies that we need to do in order to really gain an FDA grant. So I would say that we have a good view of the FDA's expectations of Neola Medical, and these studies that we need to be a part of that technical file that we're sending to them by the end of next year.
Thank you. That's the questions we have received beforehand. And if we don't have any other questions.
For you who joined a bit later and want to see the beginning of this presentation, we will have that online later today or tomorrow. So very welcome to see that first part again. And then we wish you all a very nice day.
Thank you all.
Thank you.